Hello and welcome to Before the Praise, where we're preparing our hearts for cheerful giving. I'm Tamara, your other worship leader, leading us with our worship in giving. This worship song is on my lips tonight. Lord, I give you my heart. I give you my soul. I live for you alone. Every breath that I take, every moment that I'm awake, Lord, have your way in me. When I worship, I want my worship to be meaningful. I want it to be truthful. So with that song in mind, I want to do a heart check. I want to make sure my heart is prepared to worship. Matthew 22 tells us that we should love God with all our heart, all our soul, all our mind. It's the first and greatest commandment. Oh, I want to do that. I want to follow that. And there's a warning in Deuteronomy 11 that says that when we turn our hearts away, we will worship other gods. I don't want to be guilty of worshiping anybody but God. I want to honor that first commandment. So I want my heart and my worship, my behavior and my worship to be in alignment. And we've already linked that our giving is part of our worship. So I want to make sure that my giving is right. Not just the physical gift, but my heart concerning the gift. So tonight we're going to do a heart check. Matthew 6:24 tells us that we cannot serve two masters. We cannot serve God and money, or God and mammon. It's that fancy King James version. Ain't they fancy? We don't want to be caught between the two. And this scripture gives us an idea that money can be a God replacement. Money can be a replacement for our worship. Well, how could we worship money? What can we do to serve money? Well, the Bible is very clear in telling us that we should acknowledge God in all of our ways and that He would direct our path. But sometimes we allow and consult our money about which way we should go. We allow our money to dictate to us how we worship God, if we worship God, or how well we worship God. That is serving the money. That is making the money our God. That is subjecting ourselves to money instead of God. So how do we get out from that? Well, the Bible also tells us that we should honor God with our first fruits. Now, honor, by definition, means a place of first importance. That means that just simply giving at the time the invitation for worship is presented, that's insufficient. Just putting something in the bucket, in the basket, that's insufficient. We're required to give Him first place. Well, we've already, before the praise, decided that we would come ready to worship with our gifts already prepared. But we want to take it a step further, not just prepare the gift for worship, but prepare our hearts for worship. So we want to make sure that God is first place in our hearts. And one of the ways we do that is by giving Him that first place. Now, some of us are pretty familiar with when we receive our checks, the government right away takes out their part. They're not going to trust us to pay our taxes, to pay them on time, so they take it from us. But we do something similar when it comes to saving, and you should be saving. Our 401ks come directly out. We want to get that tax-free benefit. Some of us put aside money for other things in savings, and we make that a priority. We've given it a place of first importance. We can do the same thing with God. So I've got a bold, audacious system here. What if your job has direct deposit, what if you set up a separate account just for money for worship? Put that aside. Determine what amount that you're going to put aside each paycheck and have that automatically go directly to God's account. How honoring is that? To say, God, you know what? I don't even want to give myself room not to honor you first. I'm going to put that aside first. Now, that's just one way we can honor him first. Of course, we can, as we're preparing our hearts for worship, we can make sure that before we've written out any other check, that check gets written out first, or that money gets put in that envelope first. But there are some bold things that we can do just to show God we honor him, that our hearts are for you. We're not turning our hearts away to our bills. We're not turning our hearts away to our own need and desires. We're keeping you first. And you know what? There is even a reward for that. You know, I talked about the reward of doing your 401k first. We get to put it away tax-free, reduces our taxable income. So there are things that we do that are good for us that have real reward attached to them. And that book of Matthew, the 6th chapter, talks about when we seek God first, that all the other things will be added to us. All the things that we were worried about, all the things that we were concerned about, he'll add those things to us. He's a good father. And think about, for those of you who have children, with your own children, there's an expectation that they do certain things. There's an expectation of obedience. And when they come to us and they're asking, can I have some extra money? Can I stay out later? Can I go to my friend's house? Can I watch extra TV? We break out the checklist and say, have you done your homework? Did you complete your chores? Did you follow whatever other list of things that we gave you? And when the answer is yes, and the request is reasonable, we do it. And for those kids who go above and beyond, those kids who are bold and audacious, like the people who set up a separate account for God, when those kids ask for something, we can't get the yes out quick enough. And for those who don't have children, on our jobs, when we're hired, we're given a list of expectations and responsibilities that we are to provide for that job. And when the opportunity comes up for a salary increase, when the opportunity comes up for a bonus, when the opportunity for promotion comes up, our bosses take a look at that list of responsibilities and look at our behavior and say, do these things line up? Have they done what was expected of them? And when we do, that we keep our job. When we do, there may be a cost of living adjustment. But when we're bold, when we're audacious, when we show our commitment to our work, when we do our work with excellence, oh, that's the person that's up for the promotion. That's the person that's up for that huge bonus. So there are rewards for doing the right thing. There are rewards for giving God priority in our life. And that's not the reason we do it. But what a great blessing for our reasonable service. I think that's why we worship him. We think that going back to our last session, that's another reason to worship. Because he gives good things. So in this heart check tonight, we want to make sure our heart is in the right place. And our heart is in the right place when we think to give first. Our heart is in the right place when we prepare to give before the praise. That's what we do here every week. We prepare our hearts and our offerings for praise and worship. And our hearts are in the right place when we are ready to worship with our gifts. We're not getting ready. We're ready. We came prepared, ready to give God the glory due his name. So hopefully you have passed this heart check. And if you find yourself lacking in an area, just simply have God just instruct you and lead you, and he will get your heart right. So that when we sing songs like, Lord, I give you my heart, we can know with a surety that our worship and our behavior are in alignment, and our worship is truthful. Our worship is honest. Our worship is in spirit and in truth. Thank you for joining us. Share with me in the comments below what ways you have put God first, what ways you have honored God with this instrument of giving. Share with me what ways God has rewarded you for your faithful commitment in giving. Please remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Definitely share this video with your friends. Share it with fellow church members. Follow me on Facebook and pray for me. Our website is coming soon. Thank you for joining us. I'll see you next time. This is Tamara, your other worship leader. Have a great day.